Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Picnic Table Chat Show. It is season 9, episode 11, and believe it or not, I have no script. Completely forgot to do it tonight. I've been super busy, so we're just gonna wing it, see what happens. I've got a few things to talk about. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. So we are looking at the dive colony right now. This is my personal dive colony, one of 4. I think it's 4 at the moment. Yeah, 4 colonies I've got of my own at the moment. But this is obviously the largest one, the main one, the one that I've had the longest. I have no idea how many queens are in there anymore because they keep breeding and I accepted them back into the nest. As you can see, the nest is quite big. This is just one tiny portion of one of the nests. We do have a satellite nest in the 3rd tank because we've got 2 other tanks attached to this one via the bridge. I will show it again in a bit, I expect, just because this picture doesn't show off its quite size, if you know what I mean. It takes up a huge majority of the room. You can hear me clearly. That's good because my throat is actually killing me right now. And yeah, it's kind of scratchy, but I'm not sure if I'm going to get that cold that everyone's getting. If I do, it's going to be an absolute nightmare. I tell you what, we always get ill around Christmas time, normally the whole family, so at least it's not just me. We'll see what happens. So yeah, the dives in this tank, this is the main tank, like I say. They started off pretty much just below this area, actually, in this tiny little crack, we could say. As I put them in, it was like they were weaving a small nest to this bit of driftwood, and I put that in, and they just basically expanded upwards and outwards. And as you can see, we've got lots of scaffolding in there, and that's what I used to influence my nest design when I was designing the bio box. Was that scaffolding that they've used to build their nest is pretty much what I've tried to replicate. So inside of that big bulbous bit is actually it's like a claw-shaped branch. I won't say branch because it's not a branch, but stick. You know what I mean. And that kind of worked perfectly, and they weaved in between all the little bits, and yeah, it worked amazingly. As you can see, they're absolutely thriving. There's tons of them. We've just chucked a bit of food in as well to see if we could get them to liven up, because they are sort of slow at the minute, probably because it's a little bit cold. But yeah, they're doing really well, and I say now we've fed them and chucked a bit of food in, they're sort of livening up. I wouldn't try and count them. Like I say, I lost count completely. I don't know how many queens are in there. I don't know how many workers are in there, but there's a lot. We can feed them like whole rats and pork chops and things like that. In fact, if you look into the tank, you see quite a few skulls where the isopods will eat the skulls and other things like that. So we don't really worry about taking them out too much unless they sort of smell. You know what I mean? Oh, sorry, neck clicking. Did anyone hear that neck click? If my sound's that good. How old is this colony? It's about 2.5 years, maybe. I won't say 3 years yet, probably 2.5 years. If you go back on the YouTube, you can actually pinpoint when I got them exactly and watch their entire sort of growth and expansion through the tanks. It's been really interesting. I actually go back and have a little look occasionally myself. It's like I say, they are one of my favorite species. Their ability to weave is fantastic, and yeah, I can't really say much more than that. I absolutely love them. They are amazing. And like I say, in this tank, we got a waterfall on the other side, which provides high humidity. It's always sort of going. It did dry out lately because the pump stopped working. So I got a new pump in there and it's going again. I don't think it's really a necessity, but it definitely helps. I don't have to keep maintaining spraying and things like that because it literally waters itself. I just occasionally top up the pond, which is, it makes my life a lot easier than having to try and spray the whole tank and things like that. They do like the high humidity, and obviously they do like high temperatures. I have huge heat pads, that's the word. Wow, brain went. I have large heat pads across the back glass of the tanks, and they've basically covered those whole areas. Everywhere there's a heat pad, they've nested. If I was to put a heat pad somewhere else, they'd probably nest there as well. In fact, that might be why the satellite nest got built, because it was in direct sunlight, believe it or not. But where they built it is inside of, well, it's inside of a fish tank coliseum, like one of the amphitheater decor design sort of things. We stuck that in, and they decided to build their satellite nest in there. So I'm assuming it got quite warm in there in the sun. And yeah, it's a perfect nesting space for them, I suppose. We didn't really see that one coming because we thought they were going to make a satellite nest in the other tank, which they did. They chose the amphitheater, which does look very cool when you chuck like some food onto like the steps of the amphitheater, and they would just come swarming out and destroying it. Very cool. Well, this is why I need a fish tank doing something similar. Yeah, waterfall. I absolutely love the waterfall. It does make a huge difference to like the environment and just to look at the tank as well. And obviously, this being a huge multi-species tank, we've got about 18 species of isopod in there, beetles. We did have vampire crabs, but I don't think there's any left at this point. The ants have basically started to eat everything else, but certain things do survive, like isopods and beetles. Obviously, we did have stick insects, and there is some spiders still knocking about. I don't know how they've survived, quite frankly. They just whip down and grab one and run off again, I suppose. Yeah, there's a few other species in there, but it's not as diverse as it once was, because like I said, when I first built the tank, the dives will take over everything. The darkling beetles are quite hard-shelled, and they sort of bully them, but they don't really eat them, or they don't kill them to eat them. But they do they'll bite them if they're getting in their way. But they live quite harmoniously most of the time. And obviously, the darkling beetles do produce Mario worms, which are throughout the tank. We did have worms in there as well originally, but I don't think we've got worms anymore. Probably just Mario worms eating everything. Because they're quite carnivorous, so they probably ate the worms, thinking about it, which is fine. It's part of nature, I suppose. I've got an energy drink and a coffee. Which one I suppose I'll go for the coffee first, because that will go cold. We'll go for the coffee. That is well needed. But built a nice waterfall back when I still had my green bacillus viewer with awesome for humidity. Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's just so much easier. It literally produces its own humidity, and I've got up one end of the tank. It's really humid on that side and not so humid on the other side. And then I've got the heat pads on the back of the tank, so it's really hot on that end and really like not much cooler, but cooler at the front. So it's like if they went slap bang in the middle, they'd have like the perfect mix of everything. But it means they could choose their own sort of environment and go with the different humidity and temperatures throughout the tank, because it does vary by a few degrees. Like if you go towards the pond, it's probably about 24, 26 degrees, whereas if you're sat back here right against the nest, it's between 28 and 30 degrees, so there is that slight fluctuation within the tank, but it allows them to choose where they wanted to nest, and they chose here. If you watch it back from the very start, it's a really interesting sort of expansion and like growth through time. So the other few things that we're going to talk about, well, what have I been up to? My bejeebers. I told you on Sunday I was going to be busy, and I have been more than busy. Mainly because on Sunday I had completely forgotten that it's nearly Christmas, and I have Christmas nativities and things like that to go to, as well as all the work that I was going to get done. So it has been absolutely hectic. You can't wait for them to start weaving. Yeah, usually it doesn't take long. By the time they get some brood and whatnot, it won't take long at all. All of my colonies are now weaving and looking quite happy, I'd say. one in particular is looking very happy. I will be starting to film these soon. I wanted to get them really nicely weaved up before we start filming it much, really. But yeah, that one up in the corner is looking rather good. I'm excited for them. In one of the bio boxes, which is attached to the M2 double outworld for feeding, because there's quite a few in there now, and I've decided now's the point where I'm not going to open that lid anymore. I've pushed it down tight, clicked it in, and yeah, so I now feed them in the outworld area. That's now a sealed unit, and I put water in through the base, and it was working quite well. Not had any issues with it. I mean, how long have they been in there? Good 6 months or so now. Yeah, probably about that. Yeah. But yeah, so weaving, like, they do start to weave fairly fast. It can take a while for them to build a substantial nest, but they will start to weave around themselves, and even within a test tube sometimes, once they've got a fair bit of brood. It's the larvae which do the weaving, so you won't have it if you've got eggs, but if you've got larvae, they might start to weave, you know what I mean? But yeah, so what have I been doing? I've been rewriting the sub boxes. As I said on Sunday, I decided that I need to do a full rewrite of the sub boxes, to really, like, because I did the rewrite, I've done the redesign, and it worked, but it wasn't going to be sustainable like that. It was still too confusing for me. Mistakes were going to be made. It's not worth that sort of bad service. So I decided to completely rewrite the whole thing, from scratch. And like I say, it's going to be much better value. Every month you're going to get a minimum, like if you're on the beginner one, you get a minimum £10 of products, and the fact sheets and all of that on top of that £10 of products. Yeah, I know you love them, Rose Donna, and like I'm not changing them, like getting rid of all the information. Don't get me wrong, you know what I mean. I want to make it kind of function a bit better. What would you say if I was to get weavers? Weavers are absolutely fantastic, Marcus. If you want to, go through it, but they do take up a lot of space. Like, that's the only thing that I warn everyone when they get growing like this. They're in, I think they've got like 10 foot of fish tank between it all, you know what I mean? Yeah. Again, Geordie's inverts, I know everyone loves the sub boxes. I do get good compliments about them, but I want to, like I said, I want to make it more fair. Like with the change in the nest products and things like that like we've had to do. Obviously, we're not giving out the same products that we were. We're now giving out our products, which are a lot cheaper than the products that we were sending out. So therefore, it, like, even if I sent you the same, like, equivalent, like, you'd end up with twice as many products which weren't of any use, if you know what I mean. I'd have to just be sending you more products just to make up the money. So it really wouldn't make sense, in that way, you know what I mean? So it's not sustainable in that sort of sense. So now it's more even. You'll get £10 worth of products every month, and the fact sheets and the walkthroughs, not in the £10 of products every month. So it's much greater value, in that sense. You get the nests a lot earlier as well, etc., etc. It's just going to be a much smoother process. I've streamlined what I'm doing as well on how it functions, like with my spreadsheets and things like that, because it does get a bit confusing sometimes. We had like a green light that would move along. Now, does that green light mean that that's the month that they're on, or does that green light mean that that's the month that we sent last? I always forget, and I have to go back through and check everything, and it's a long old process. So I streamlined the process a bit more. Like I say, we're now, basically anyone that's on it, I print off the whole 12 months in one go, put it all into a box, sort of ready to go, and then every month I just take that out and send it, and then what's left in the box is the remaining months, if you know what I mean. I can't send the same one twice because it's physically not there. So that just, like, things like that, I really sort of put my mind to it, and like I have no problem with admitting, like, it's not been an easy process lately. We've got quite a few people on it, and when I took that little break, it did really mess things up. It made it a lot harder for me. Like, although the boxes are still going out, they are late usually because I'm trying to work everything out, and it's just going to make the process a lot better for the customers. And yeah, that's what it's all about. So yeah, I have no problem with admitting that it needed a bit of work, and I am putting that work in for you. So anyone that is listening, if you're already on the sub boxes, what I'm going to do for you is any products that you would have got like via the new boxes, which you haven't already got from the old boxes, I will send you in like a bonus package sort of thing, so that you haven't missed out on anything. If anything, you'll have a few extra bits because there will be some extra bit, you know what I mean? But you'll have everything. I'm going to reprint all the new fact sheets, all the new walkthroughs, everything. So you've got the whole new version to go with from this point, you know what I mean? Because yeah, it's just going to be easier for everyone. Okay, but yeah, it's a lot of work. You bear in mind each month is like A4 sheet front and back roughly, and then the fact sheet and the products and all of that lot. So it's a lot of coordinating, a lot of writing. There's 12 months in the year. I do 3 courses, and one of those is only 4 months. But that's a lot of writing. It's taken me a lot of time. So I am working on it, and I am. I've made a huge dent in it, but there's a long way to go. But think we've pretty much got all the ones covered, which are going out tomorrow, because obviously it is sub box week. But it's been so cold that I've literally not sent anything. Well, I think we sent something on Monday. I can't remember. But we've pretty much not sent anything this week because it's been so cold. But we've got tomorrow booked in for the postman to pop round and collection, because it is the warmest day of potentially the rest of the year. So we're going to get out as much post as we can tomorrow and try and get it done. We'll be doing all 3. That sounds brilliant. Thank you, Geordie Inverts. And then the other crazy thing that I've been doing, obviously we host the Great Ant exhibition, and we have a show in February in Sheffield. You've probably all seen it by now, but I'm going to talk about it anyways. The venue was, I don't want to go into it massively, but not overly cooperative, and sort of a disappointment in the end. So we needed to change it. And we found the Sheffield United football stadium. Now, we haven't got the whole stadium, don't get me wrong. It is not like we've rented the whole stadium. We're not quite that big yet. It should be Friday, yes, Rose Donna. If not, it might be Saturday, but I would have thought it would be Friday. Yeah, so we've got the Platinum Suite, which is a nice big room. You come into the main car park off Cherry Street, I think it is, or Cherry Road. Main car park, big car, the football stadium. You come in there, and then there's literally, we've got our own entrance for the Platinum Suite. You just walk straight in, and you'll be against the reception desk pretty much. And then there you go. That's the show. Easy as that. It's absolutely beautiful. Not back in hospital too much. That's brilliant, Rose Donna. You've been in and out a lot lately. I do send you my wishes. But yeah, so it should be really easy to find. If you're coming via public transport, we're only about 5 to 10 minute walk from the train station, and there is bus stops literally at the stadium as well. Literally, we couldn't get much better transport wise, and we're only about 5 minutes walk from the city centre as well. McDonald's just around the corner, Subway pretty much opposite. I've had a good look at the maps, because obviously I have to think about all of this for my staff as well, because they have to be fed overnight and during the day whilst we work. So yeah, there's a lot of logistics that I need to now look at, like my end. Just moving it over from the other show, from the other venue, is a big thing for us moving into this stadium. Obviously, like I say, we're not having the whole stadium, but it is very cool being in the stadium. It's sort of a step up for our show, definitely. We are pretty much sold out of trader spaces as well. I've got a few tables left, but not many at all. And I'm sure they'll be snapped up very shortly. We've got some awesome speakers already booked in as well, and a couple of spaces left. So, like I said, I've got a little bit more work to do on this show, but we've still got time, and I'm nowhere near panicking yet. It's going to be fantastic. And obviously, I've already started working on the other two shows. The Bristol show takes a lot of work because we've got the outside area as well as the hall, which like more than doubles our space. So there's a lot of work to go into that one. So I'm sort of working on all of them, but Sheffield's the main focus at the minute. You'll start seeing posters popping up everywhere. We've literally got hundreds of posters going out in the next couple of weeks, all over like tourist locations and like, I don't know, you'll see them just sort of everywhere, especially if you live up near Sheffield, you'll see them everywhere. Yeah, so I'm sort of really excited about that. It's going to be fantastic. But yeah, there is a lot of logistical work up. I mean, we haven't even looked at where we're going to stay yet, because obviously we drive up from Dorset. It's over 300 miles for us. So we look at all of this beforehand, like where we're going to stay, where we're going to eat, do between times when we're at the show, like because we normally go the day before and set up, then we go and stay somewhere, and then the next day we do the show. So you know, it's a long process for us, and I like to be fully prepared of where we're going to go and what we're going to do. Hopefully I have a motor. Oh, that would be very cool, Marcus. There's what to be. Also, you know what? See what I mean? Like, how cocky is that, really? Just walking straight over the nest. There's an ant trying to bite him, and he doesn't seem that bothered by it, does he? You need a caravan. Right, yeah, I do. By the Bristol show, we're going to be looking at probably 2 vans worth of equipment. We are already filling a van of equipment every time we do one of these shows now, because we've got so much to take with us. And I said, not just my show stuff, but I also take my store stuff, don't I? I take all my stock. So there's a lot that goes into these vans. But by the Bristol show, because we're buying more stuff to go into the show, we are probably going to have 2 vans. And yeah, we need a caravan or something like that. We did a bus last year, and we all slept on the bus because it worked out a lot easier to just do it like that, and then we just whipped off in the morning. And it was good fun, actually. It was very cold because obviously it's February in Sheffield. Like a week before that, there was still snow on the ground. Like, trust me, because I went and we did like a dry run sort of drive with someone else I know, just so I knew the sort of route that we were taking as well. Like I say, I like to plan everything. And we did a dry run, and yeah, it was snow either side of us. Hey, Ben, you all right, buddy? Thanks for popping in, man. Oh, yeah, I haven't really said hello to anyone. Hello, everyone. Hello, Marcus. Hello, Ben. Hello, Rose Donna. Hello, Geordie's Inverts. Hello, Antisocial. I know you're there somewhere. Hello, Assassin Chris. And anyone else that I may have missed, hello and good evening. Thanks for joining. We've just been sort of talking about all sorts of bits and bobs that I've been up to. Ben, you haven't really missed a lot, to be honest, just me chatting. But I will do a little tour of the dive tank now. You have to sort of bear with me. I used to have this really cool tripod that like I could bend in to the tank and like get much better angles, but it snapped because apparently it only bends for so long, and then the bendy part becomes really weak and just snaps. I was sort of disappointed because I really like that. I'll replace it at some point, but it's not a priority. So bear with me with my hand sort of being a little bit shaky, and I'll try and get some good angles on it and sort of show it in its full glory. But we'll do what we can. And I'll kind of shout at the microphone because it's literally the other side of the room. Like I've got a 3 meter wire, and then another meter. So I've got about 4 meters of wire to take it over there. But yeah, here we go. You probably can't even hear me. You might hear me. I don't know. Right, so here we go. This is the bridge. We'll look at the bridge first. So the bridge sort of starts down here. Let's zoom out. Hold on. Right, there's the bridge. And it sort of goes up, and they're sort of feeding on it at the minute because they're dragging a wax worm across it. And it goes down. We'll go down first. Down. And sort of anchors into there. That's how I got the bridge to sort of stand up. As you can see, we feed them whole bottles of the candy mix. They literally smash down that whole bottle quite happily in a few days. We got some dairy cow isopods with the beetles. There should be some magic potions and a few other things in here as well. There's a few skulls, like I say, a couple of bones. And this is actually where we thought they were going to nest, but they actually killed the plants that were on this side. I think that's what put them off, once the plants sort of died off. So that's that tank. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. And then we got this one. If we do sort of an outside, whoa, let's get rid of the light. Dun, 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 dun. That's the nest, pretty much most of the length of the tank. The main nest, we could say. Like I say, it started down there and it just sort of expanded and kept expanding and kept expanding and kept expanding. I recently did cut back because it does get really overgrown in there really often. The plants just thriving, I suppose. And then sort of down here, the glass is really hard. There's a reflection of it, but that's our pond. We've got a little waterfall there. And I say that just keeps it flowing. If that waterfall stops, the pond drains into the substrate, making it really wet. Just means I've got to start again, which isn't an issue basically. But yeah, so there's a big cave there. And that's sort of where there's a load of isopods in there now, but that's where the crabs did live, in that cave and in these caves, sort of behind the rocks, but I don't think there's any crabs in there anymore. There's another rat just down there, the body of a rat, if you can see that. I won't zoom in because it's pretty graphic. And then we go back to the bridge. Zoom. We can go up. Excuse my awful wallpaper. I'm probably never going to change it, so I'm not even going to lie. It is what it is. I don't mind a bit of wallpaper. And then coming down, we have the amphitheatre. As you can see, they've nested inside of it. It's pretty cool. I'll try and stand it back to where we had it now. There we go. That's a little brief tour. I need to do like a proper video tour on it and get some really good footage and some great angles, but you know what I'm like with releasing videos at the minute. Yeah. Right, so what we should do a show where you show off your isopods. Yeah, I should really, but to be honest, they're in a whole nother room. Like the isopods and quite a few of the other things are in a whole nother room because I ran out of room in my office. We actually use 3 rooms now for animals and stock and everything else. And we have a stock room and someone else that looks after other things. And yeah, it's a bit confusing sometimes, but yes, we totally could do one showing off isopods. We could do one showing off tarantulas and all sorts of things. Obviously, I've got plenty here, even the snakes. I think at the minute, I can't actually see him because he's slightly around the corner. Still, they're a big part of your setup. Yeah, they are. I mean, we've got, like they say, all my bioactive setups have loads of isopods in them. But yeah, I do keep what we've got. We've got quite a few different species at the moment in the other room. But believe it or not, that's actually the wife's job. She feeds and looks after the isopods because it's one of the only things that she will feed. She's not animal phobic or anything, but she kind of is. Like, they just make her jump, basically. All animals make her jump, even cats, even goats, even a seagull or a squirrel. It's kind of hilarious. So yeah, she feeds the isopods. Nice and easy. There's no risk to her, no risk to the animal. I can trust her to do that. Yeah, that's it, Marcus. We've got quite a few. You've seen the list. Oh dear, oh dear. What was it? So yeah, I'm getting quite chesty actually. Has anyone else started getting really chesty at the minute? There is definitely something knocking about. I'm sure I read someone else had issues with their chest lately. Obviously, I have got my quite severe chest issues, emphysema, and a few other things like that. So when I get ill, I do get quite ill. But we will carry on working through it as we normally do, as much as we can. Christmas. Let's talk a little bit about Christmas because that's obviously coming up, and we've got a few more minutes before I am going to go anywhere. I'm probably not going to stop for Christmas. It's hard, right? I doubt there's going to be many more days where I can send anything alive for the rest of this year until it warms up. Simple as that. But we've still got all the other products, so there's no real point in us shutting. Because if you want something, we need to be there to send out like foods and stuff. But I need to check when the Royal Mail last posting is, because obviously that will dictate to us when we have to stop posting. Simple as that. At that point, I will just probably, again, we have people which will do collections, so it's probably not going to shut the shop, but anything that can be sent out will just be postponed, is the word I needed, until posting's back on next year, which kind of sucks for everyone, I know, but it is what it is. That's Christmas time for you. But we will still be here doing a chat show as much as possible. I'm going to try not to break the habit now, because once I break a habit, it's gone. I wish I could do that with other things, but yeah, we will continue on. I probably won't do one if Christmas night is on a stream night. I haven't even looked when Christmas falls this year, but if it's Christmas night, I probably won't do one. I expect we will have a Christmas giveaway. I actually haven't even it keeps coming into my mind, and then I keep doing other work. So we will sort out a Christmas giveaway. I'll speak to my staff and see if they've got any ideas for what we should do this year. If not, I'll come up with something myself. But yeah, we'll get a Christmas giveaway together. But if you are looking for something, because we are heading over to the end of our stream now, if you're looking for something to support or a chance to get a prize, head over to the Unseen Universe channel. Now, Unseen Universe is a trader that supported me throughout our shows. And he's been amazing. He sponsored some of the shows. You know, he's been a really great guy to us. And we love what he's doing as well, so I'm going to tell you about it. And Answer the Rock calendar, it has been spoken about. I'll talk to you about that later. We've got lots more products coming next year, put it that way. Yeah, but we won't go into it. What was I just talking about? Right, Unseen Universe. Head over to the Unseen Universe YouTube channel. He does a 24 Days of Christmas giveaway. If you buy a ticket, your name goes into a bag. Every night they draw from this bag, and there's like 3 or 4, even 5 prizes that they draw from for every night from the same bag. So you've got plenty of chance a prize if you're over there. Some of the prizes are pretty amazing. They're all from different invert shops and whatnot. Like, we've donated about £200 worth of prizes roughly. There's like, one of them's already been won. There's also a £50 mystery box from us and a £100 mystery box from us that we've donated to him to use as prizes. So yeah, that's like, he's literally got hundreds of prizes. They've raised about £2,000. It's probably jumped up to like closer to 3 by now. He's on like what, day 6, and he's doing amazing. Head over to him. They say you get a ticket, I think on PayPal, it's about £5, and they put your name into the bag and they draw from the same bag every night. So your name is in there, unless it gets taken out for a prize. Your name is in there until the last day. You know what I mean? So you've got loads of chances to win for a £5. It's not bad. And you can buy multiple tickets as well. You can get in as many times as you want. And it is raising money for a great cause. The cause is like, I can't really explain it as well as they do, but it's like a respite sort of service, help centre for people with learning difficulties or children with learning difficulties, which is obviously amazing. And it means a lot to me because obviously my children, and it's a service that we like. If there's something local to us like that, we would definitely look at getting involved in it in the future, because it is so beneficial to families with children with learning difficulties. You know, they can be a challenge at times, and it can be very tiring at times. So having that sort of respite and extra help available really does make a difference, and takes a huge burden off. You know, but these things are obviously charity based and they need money. So head over. Like I say, he's doing an amazing thing. He does it every year. Last year, he raised money for a learning special needs school, you know, a special educational needs school, I should say. Yeah, so that's where to go after this stream if you're sticking on YouTube for a bit. I know Rose Donna, you head over there already, don't you? And he is, you know, he's doing an amazing thing. Are you on stream with both? There you go. There you go. Yeah, he is brilliant. Hello, Frugal Invert Keeper. You're very late, I'm afraid. Like, we are going to be heading towards the end of the stream in a minute. It's a Wednesday, so it's only a short one tonight. And I'll be honest, I've got a million jobs that I'm still in the middle of. I'm still in the middle of writing these sub boxes. Where are we going? When? I'm confused. Where, have I just said that we're going somewhere? Or I don't know. Sidetrack my kid. Yeah, I saw you were here earlier, so I assumed you was just sort of in the background. But you do someone else. Someone else's stream. Cool. You've got kittens. Yeah, I did know that you were getting kittens. Like, I don't know. I can't even remember how I knew, but I've seen them. I've seen the pictures. They're very cool. And I've also seen that you're struggling with your cat tree thing. I don't really know what they're called. Climbing trees. Is it a climbing tree? Because that just makes me think that I'm going climbing. I don't know. But yeah, I know you're struggling. Are you still struggling? If I was more close to you, I would come around and help. But it's sort of it's a long track. Like, there's a long way to help you put up a tree thing. I probably wouldn't be any help either, because I have no idea what it is. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I didn't want to obviously say on stream, but I knew it was like, if it was anyone else, I wouldn't have done it. But I know you two know each other really well, and he was like, "I've got a cat for her." I was like, yeah, I suppose I can do that for you. But I wouldn't normally give out the postcode of anyone, as you know. But I know you're good friends with him. But I'm glad you got them, because that was my main thing. Was like, oh no, as the phone died or something. 7-foot cat tree in your room for your cats. What? Is this these big climbing things with all the different floors and boxes and stuff? Because, like, could you imagine a human-sized one of those? They would be big, but would you sleep in one? I suppose we kind of do. I suppose the Chinese do, don't they? They got the little box rooms. I don't know. I might give it a go. It could be cozy. Busy cleaning. You're always busy cleaning, doing something like that. There's an isopod. That's one of our greys. I think we've got greys and oranges and zebras in that one. I can't remember what else. And then in the other tank, we've got other species. They don't seem to climb much between the tanks, whereas the beetles, the minute we attach that branch for the first time, in fact, you can watch it on YouTube because we did film that. The minute we attached that branch for the first time, the beetles were almost up there as fast as the ants were, and they migrated into the second tank and just started living everywhere. But there's a lot of beetles. I recently took out 20 of them, and I've got them in other containers for breeding Mario worms. So we do breed Mario worms as well with them, because we have so many beetles, it would be silly not to. But yeah, so there's quite a few beetles in there. I do take them out occasionally. Like I said, I don't want them sort of competing for the food. I'd rather just be certain that the food that I'm putting in is getting to the right places. Join them up with floating shell. Yeah, that's it. Like, it just made me think of that. What's it? The moving staircase in Harry Potter, between all the different like box rooms. Oh my god, what are we getting into? Can you imagine that? All fluffy and cozy, just a hole in a box for you to climb into. Bridge from one side. Yeah, that's it. It like I think we got a good idea there, people. Someone build it. I haven't got the skills to build that, or the space, to be honest. Like multiple multi-floor box thing. I don't know, but yeah, cool. We could just like get all the ant people in there, just have a massive ant community living in a box. Like, oh, I don't know. Now we're turning into like what's the word? A cult. All living together. Not quite a cult. You don't want to do cult. What's the word? Community. Yeah, ant community living in a ant tree. It's like that cartoon. I think of the words or the names of the cartoon, but it's there. It's in my mind. See, my wife does crochet now. She sits here most evenings doing crocheting, and it's like there's loads of balls of wool everywhere, and we could totally do stuff like that. I assume having a cat here would be a nightmare because, like, there's balls of wool everywhere. There'd just be, well, it'd be a nightmare having a cat here. Be interesting with all the other animals, but a lot of the animals that we actually take in and rescue are rescued because cats can be, I'm not going to use the word that most people call them, but they can be rather annoying, and they like to bat things off of shelves, don't they? So quite like the snails and things like that, we rescued because they were getting batted off by cats. And that sounds bad, but you know what I mean. Yeah, she's very good at her crocheting now. She's only been doing it a little while, but she's doing very good. She's made a couple of things for the kids, which are quite impressive. And the colours that she's using, like she's mixing them up and sort of getting like, what's the word? Practicing things to see what works, you know. So the skills are definitely coming. So one day I expect she will do little ants and things like that for us, but at this point it's just like let her learn at her own pace and see what happens. But I don't want to push it either. Like, she works enough. Like, from the minute the kids go to school, it's like, right, do this, then do that, then do that, and then she goes to pick the kids up, and then the kids go to bed. It's like, do that, and then we could go to bed, and then we wake up and do it all again. Yeah, I mean, thank you for reminding me that, Kat. If you're not on the Discord and you want to get on the Discord, give me a message. We do have our new Discord now. It's still kind of quiet at the moment. I admit I should be talking on there more often. But if you're about, have a little chat on there, share some pictures. I like having a little flick through pictures and whatnot. I keep getting sent pictures of people's enclosures that we've sent them and stuff like that. So feel free to share them on the Discord. There's sort of like it's just a few of us at the minute, a few friendly people that we all know are awesome. You know what I mean? Yeah, get on it. I'll send you the link after this, or send me a message, so I don't forget. Because literally, I'll turn this stream off and I'll put on my Word document, and I will forget. So yeah, send me a message, and I will send you the link to join the Discord. And like I say, it's awesome to have a little chat. I've kept thinking I could do like because there's a voice option as well. I could put the voice option on and have a little chat with people whilst I'm sat here doing certain work. Obviously, not some of the Word documents because I'll confuse myself. But if I'm like sat here feeding things, or I could do the voice option. Sometimes I even just sit here and put on a game. Believe it or not, I do switch off occasionally. It's really difficult, and then you put on my game, press the pause button, and end up working anyways. Usually on the phone, sending emails or whatever. But occasionally I do manage to switch off and play a game. And I have thought about like talking to people whilst I play my games and things like that. And I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I am on the Discord. Every message that gets sent on there gets popped up through my, or every message that gets sent on there, I think, of a new conversation. I don't know, but it dings up, doesn't it? You know what I mean? Dings up on your phone when the Discord's active. So yeah, send us a message. We're in there. And if I'm not answering, someone else might answer your question. I am not about all the time. I admit at the moment I do get I get quite a few messages every day asking me different questions or just generally talking. And I admit I've not been as active as I would like to be, but I am just super busy doing other things. And obviously with it coming up to Christmas, I'm spending a bit of time with the kids as well, and at their shows and things like that. So I'm not always answering as fast as I'd like to be. So yeah, the Discord's a great place to sort of take some of that away from me, or not take it away from me, but someone else might have an answer before I am available. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah, so it's just another option. And like I say, I'm not the only person with ant knowledge. I don't know everything. I know a fair bit, but I don't know everything. Some people know other things, and some people even know more than me. You know what I mean? There's bombardment. Yeah, that's it. It's nice in Discord because it's just us lot chatting. Like you say, it's not all the ads. It's not all the other bits and bobs. It's just a little conversation between us lot. Customers, basically anyone that's actually a customer can come in, and like people. It's a support network for me. It's not like an open channel just for anyone to join. It's a support network for me and my customers, really. And that's sort of the idea behind it. I don't want it to just be just for anyone anymore. And that's why we're not just inviting anyone anymore, It's a more closed sort of, I won't say completely closed because people are welcome to join, but it's more, I don't even know the word. It's just quieter, nice, smaller community. Thank you. That's it. That's it. Yes. I like that, Marcus. Discord for the community, Facebook's for the social, yeah. It was the same when raining first time, yeah. So I just saw Geordie inverts. Mate, Geordie, honestly, yes, you messaged me quite a few times, but I have people messaging from all around the world as much as you do. You know what I mean? It's never a bother. It's never an issue. It's just, you know what I'm like with answering, especially what I'm like with answering. I get round to it when I can at a minute, but I'm just not there all the time, which I used to be. When I was less busy, when I didn't even run the shop, I was able to answer all my messages all the time. But now it's just like as and when I can get to them. Like, the thing is, if I start answering messages, all my other work doesn't get done. And it's simple as that. Sometimes I've just got to turn the phone on silent and get my head down into other things at the moment, which, yeah, it sucks, but it is what it is. It was the same thing with him, and I spoke to him when we first met. It's not an issue as long as you give. That's it. That's it. Like yeah. Thank you, Marcus. I can take a bit of time. Like I hate it though. Like I wish I was there all the time. But to be honest, my missus, the wifey, she does moan at me quite often because I used to pick the phone up when we were eating dinner and things like that, and she used to ask me not to do that. So I try not to do that anymore. I'm pretty sure I just saw something climbing over the camera. I'm not sure, but pairs of hands and a brain the size of a football field. Thank you very much, Cat. I, I won't quite say that much, but you know, like I try and do what I can, but I can't do it all. Apparently, I've stretched myself. Um, I need a few clones, but as I said in the past, I probably wouldn't trust them to do the jobs that I do, and I'd end up arguing with my own clone, and it would just turn silly. And it would be like, I'm the real one, I'm the real one. That whole situation, you know what I mean? But yeah, so let's say it's never an issue. I get messages all day long. My inbox normally reaches around 20 or 30 messages from different people before I get around to answering them all at the moment. And I say it's not an issue. I absolutely love it. It's the whole reason I started, to be fair, wasn't it? Let's be honest. The whole reason I even started the picnic show, the you know the shop, the sub boxes, everything was just because I absolutely love the community and helping them out in any way that I can. It's literally what sparked it all, and like, so yeah, it's never an issue. Never an issue. um, Something different definitely climbed over the camera. There we go. I'm sure it did, but I can't see anything. Occasionally, like I say, there's so many at this point. There's there's so many ants at this point. They do occasionally get out. Not en masse, but you'll occasionally find one or two just sort of lost. Um, Sometimes they fall off the bridge, and that's like literal raindrops when they're going over in swarms. They can fall off, and yeah, you do get one or two out occasionally. But that's the risk I took by having an open air bridge. If I wanted to be completely safe and secure, I wouldn't have done it. Um, it's not an issue here. Like, we are a house of ant people. Like 90% of our day is related to ants. So if one gets out, it's not really that much of an issue for us. We just put it back. You know, I love our chat. I would definitely have left a hobby with. Oh well, thank you, Rose Donna. Yeah, it's like that's it. I love chatting to everyone. It's brilliant, isn't it? But I can't do it as much as I wanted to. I say, back when I was just a YouTuber, it was easy. I had all the time in the world. I'd make one video a week, maybe two videos a week, some every day, and it was like I was just chatting away. Like, I'd do a video and then it was done. It was easy compared to this. Like, it's yeah, I like. Yeah, we do enjoy it though. I'm not complaining in any way. Don't get me wrong. I do absolutely love my job and what I do, and I wouldn't go back to 9 to 5 office job for the life of me. Yeah. So I think we are going to head towards the end of this stream now. Unless anyone's got anything else that they want to talk about or ask, or I don't know. But otherwise, right, the problem is, and I've been told this by a few people now, is when yeah, okay, well, thank you, Kat, that's very kind. Well, I was just a YouTuber. All right, we'll do a duck race, but yeah, we will start heading towards the end of the stream after the duck race. So I will explain it as I always explain it. Yeah, all right, Marcus. Stickers and coasters. Working on it, man. Thank you, Geordie. That's kind of it. Right, let's explain the duck race, because if anyone's watching that hasn't watched before, it could be new to you. So it's just for fun. We have no prizes involved in most of them. We're not doing a prize tonight. Choose a number between, we're going to go up to 10 now. There's a 2-minute duck race. So choose a number between 1 and 10. If your number has already been choose a different number. Simple as that. It's really easy, just for fun. Let's have a look at the ducks involved. Here we go. Oh, hang on. There we go. I pressed the wrong button. Here we go. Right. So we have, let's have a little look at the duckies. Duck. We got Spider-Man duck, Spider duck, whatever you're going to call him. I don't want to get done for copywriting, so we're calling Spider-Man duck thing. And yeah, he's pretty good. He's pretty fast, very agile, but he's more better in the element. He cannot use webs. That is one of the rules we've said. You cannot use your webbing. You can just wear the suit. We got purple stripy duck next to him. You got to watch out for the purple stripy duck. He's part of a gang. Right. Next to that, we've got Superman. At least the gang member is surrounded by superheroes, you know. We got Superman duck. Again, he's not allowed to use his magical powers, his superhero powers. Are they magical powers or the superhero powers? We'll go with that. He's not allowed to use them. He has to stick at normal speed for a duck. We got the plain ducks next to them. They're sort of a dastardly and motley crew. You got to keep your eyes on the plain ducks there. Professor Duck, he's very smart, not very athletic. We'll see how he gets on. Again, these two here, they hang out with this purple stripy duck. I don't know about those two. We got Top Hat Duck up in the top corner there. He's got a lot of money, so he's not that bothered about winning the race because there's no prizes involved anyways. I don't know. And we got Rudolph Duck there. He's getting ready for Christmas, obviously. He's getting warmed up and ready for the big night. So he's probably going to be saving a bit of energy back tonight. Again, we're going to have to see how it plays out. Let's get the race started. I hope you've all got your numbers. Monopoly duck, yeah. Bat duck isn't there. No bat duck tonight. Sometimes, like when you put it up to like 100 ducks, there is literally every type of duck you can see. What is 7? 7 is the pink spotty duck. Who else we got? We got Donna's 10, the Rudolph Duck, Geordie Invert's 9, Marcus 8. Well, good luck, everyone. Like I say, this one's not for a prize. We will do a night of prizes soon. We'll do like a little quiz night with some duck races chucked in and prizes throughout all of it. I need to talk to a few of my staff and the wife and see what I can get away with, because you can't go giving away everything. But I do like to, so I'll see what I can give away, and we'll set something up for a few streams time. I'm not going to say a date because I just don't know right now, but we'll do something. Mr. Blobby. It's not quite Mr. Blobby, but yeah, like the horrible thing is so many people these days don't even know who Mr. Blobby is. It's like, my God, when I was growing up, that was a staple. Like, I'm so out of touch with it now, and I'm getting old. It sucks. I'm in my 30s. I'm getting old. Like back when I was young, I looked at people. Like, I remember my mum at this age. I think it's like it's not cool. It's not cool. Yes, the quiz nights. It has to be related to ants. I know ants and inverts because I can't come up with like a whole quiz just about ants. I probably could, but we'll into depth. Mr. Roy had yellow spots. Yeah, he was with yellow spots, wasn't he? I can't remember. So that is number 6. Well done, number 6, whoever that is. Somewhere maybe. I don't know if anyone took number 6. I can't see it. No, I don't know. I don't know. But number 6 won that one. So well done, that duck. He's worked hard. He's going to go and have a slice of bread now. Apparently bread's really bad for ducks, but he's going to have it anyways. He won a race. Come on, let him off. Wow, those dollars. So that's on Unseen Universe. Thank you for updating us. Like I say, head over to him after this stream if you're hanging about on YouTube. And if you want to get involved, it's an awesome thing to raise money for. £2,160 raised so far for, is it Leeds Men Cap? Either way, yeah, absolutely amazing. Wow, what a number. And he's got so much more to go, you know. I expect they're probably going to double it, potentially, I don't know. But yes, head over to there now, because I am going to start heading off and doing something else. So, as always, a massive thank you to our sponsors, Answer Us and Valhalla Martial Arts. They have been fantastic to me, and as it's coming up to Christmas, I want to give them an extra special thanks because they have been really fantastic throughout, not just this year, but previous years as well. They've supported us literally since the start. And yeah, couldn't do it without them, basically. Wouldn't be where we are without them, for sure. And simple as that. A massive thank you to our Patreon supporters as well. Obviously, you've made a massive difference to us. It supports us with all the little like things that break, we're able to repair with money from the Patreon. It helps towards the feeding of the animals, things like that, you know. So Patreon supporters, massive thank you to you as well. You can jump on Patreon. It's only like £3 a month or something like that, but there's no pressure to do so. A massive thank you to all the viewers, of course, because you're absolutely fantastic for coming in every stream. You're here, you're chatting, you're absolutely amazing, and I can't thank you enough. And I shouldn't have really left it last, but it's hard to order things, isn't it? A massive, massive thank you to all of my staff, volunteers, and supporters as well, because again, without you guys, I won't be able to do what I do. Definitely couldn't run the shows, as you know, Kat. So yeah, a massive thank you to all of you. A few of you are watching, so I'm saying it now. Like, we've had a great year. We're going to have another fantastic year in the year ahead. But yeah, just want to really kind of point out, it's not just me. I do a lot of the work, but it isn't just me. It is, I've got a team around me, and they support me in so many ways, you know, not just with the work, but as a friend, and like they keep me going when I am struggling to come up with things, or you know what I mean, like they're there to bounce off, and they do a lot more than they probably realize. So a massive thank you to all of my staff and volunteers. And yeah, bring on next year. We're going to have even more staff and volunteers by next year because the shows are growing. But yeah, so that is that. I'm going to love you and leave you. It's now 10 o'clock. Head over to the Unseen Universe stream. He's probably still there, just about finished saying goodbye, saying hello to people, if I know what his streams are like. They start at 8:30, but he normally spends about an hour saying hello to everyone because there's so many people in there watching it. And he does like to go through and say hello to everyone personally. He's a very nice guy. Mitch from Unseen Universe, head over there and say hello. Even if you're not going to donate or get involved, just say hello, because he's a really nice guy. It's great to be involved, you know. And if you came to the Bristol or Sheffield show last year, he was there as well. So you may have already met him. He's saying bye. That's typical. That's typical. Well, I tried. But yeah, I'm going to say goodbye as well. A massive, massive, massive thank you to everyone. And I will be back here on Sunday, same time, same place, 8:30 for the pre-show feeding and 9 p.m. for the actual chat show itself. On that note, I'll see you again soon, Ant fans. Good night.